Ward's face appears, and the Lowell, Massachusetts contingent, their last moment for a while near the summit of the sport, rise to greet him.
There's an old saying in sport that when an athlete says he's going to retire, he's already retired. But nobody expects Micky Ward to be anything except what he has been through an 18-year career.
How do you become beloved and a star and wealthy in the sport of boxing, having lost 12 fights? You can only do it one way. You have to fight the way Micky Ward fights. And if the love of the crowd for Ward is manifest, just wait until the New Jersey crowd sees Gatti's picture on the monitor. Because Arturo Gatti, of Italian lineage, born and raised in Montreal, now says he is a New Jerseyan through and through after years of living upstate across the river from New York. Here comes Gatti. The graphic is intensely misleading in that it suggests that Gatti has just been a journeyman fighter in those last 11 fights. But in fact, among the 11, some of the most extraordinary ring performances of recent years. And with Arturo, it doesn't matter whether he wins or loses. His passion is always enough to generate crowd support.
He has been the drama queen of boxing on HBO for the better part of a decade. It is surprising to many observers that he is still at it and still goes at it with enthusiasm and his view and emotion.
And in his view and the view of Buddy McGirt, maybe he's better than ever. We'll see.
People tend to forget that he was a champion at one point at 130 pounds. He is ranked third in the 140-pound class by Ring Magazine.
Now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of Bally's Atlantic City, Main Events is proud to present the third and final chapter of the Gatti Ward boxing trilogy. 10 rounds of boxing for the unofficial but undisputed blood and guts championship of the world. Brought to you in association with Bally's Atlantic City, the King of Beers, Budweiser, and Abella Entertainment. Sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Chairman Gerald Gormley, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr. The 3 judges at ringside scoring this bout on the 10-point system will be George Hill, Joe Pasquale, and Luis Rivera. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Earl Morton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Main Events and HBO Sports, and with dedication to the men and women who serve with honor and valor as members of the armed forces of the United States of America, from Bally's Atlantic City, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with red and blue, weighing in officially at 142 pounds. In his professional career, he has been victorious 38 times, including 27 knockouts, and he has 12 defeats. Tonight, he enters the ring for his final fight. And tonight, he vows to end his 18 years in the ring with a victory. Ladies and gentlemen, the fighting pride of Lowell, Massachusetts, a former super lightweight world champion, Irish Micky Ward. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trimmed with blue. His official weight, also 142 pounds. His professional record stands at 35 victories, including 28 knockouts against 6 defeats. Over his career, he has become recognized as a fighter of unchallenged valor and courage with his never surrender, never quit style. Ladies and gentlemen, from Jersey City, New Jersey, the former junior lightweight world champion, the ultimate blood and guts warrior, Arturo Thunder Gatti.
Touch gloves, give me good luck, and protect yourself at all times. Thank you.
All right, baby.
Let's go back.
Micky Ward says that good things happen when you don't give up. When both fighters don't give up, sometimes great things happen.
That's what makes it such an interesting fight. Both of those guys have a lot of experiences of losing fights and coming back at the end simply because of the determination that they have.
This has the feel of the old Madison Square Garden.
Only with that black and white television.
If Arturo Gatti can throw 30 to 35 jabs per round, he'll be boxing in the style that served him so well in the second fight. He must resist his temptation to throw bunches of power punches, because when he does so, he leaves himself open for Ward to come back. Ward, as Emmanuel Stewart will point out to you, tends to fight in his turn. He doesn't try to counter Gatti shot for shot. He waits for Arturo to stop punching and then tries to land his own. And already Ward goes to his money punch. That left hook to the body.
Well, he's coming out aggressive this hand, because the last fight, seemingly he would just cover up, try to wait till Arturo finished up and then try to attack afterwards. But Arturo would dip away, move out of his zone, and he couldn't catch him. This time, he seems like he's going to come out and try to initiate things a little bit better.
We blinked and shook our heads yesterday when Ward contended that he wanted to box with the boxer a little bit. Try to be cute in there. Larry Merchant said, you do one thing for 18 years and now you think you can do another? But Ward is living up to his pledge to try to move side to side, start with his jab, and box more than in the second fight. Left hook by Gatti. Ward blocking the right to the body. Gatti comes back upstairs.
Ward is falling into the pattern that cost him in the second fight. He's got to be more aggressive. He can't try to just wait until everything is perfect.
There's a scrape on the brow of Ward.
Yep. In the middle of the brow above the left eye. And now Arturo Gatti fires the right hand right at the point where Ward's brow is scraped. Emmanuel is at a disadvantage offensively to the two fighters that they know each other so well.
I think so. And going to this fight here, I don't think either one is really set in what kind of fight that they should fight. But I know one thing, Gatti is a little more fluid with his natural movement, so Ward is going to have to step it up a little bit more than he is right now.
Gatti with the body shot attempt. Ward pops him with a little right hand.
Good counter punch right back. At least he's punching right back instead of waiting until Gatti finishes a big flurry.
Ward looks very energetic in there, particularly for the first round.
And he's just barely missing Gatti with that short right hand.
The first round, more of a boxing match.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Than some Ward fans might have expected.
What he's trying to do is throw you off by throwing right hand. He's trying to catch the right hand over the jab, okay? That's all he's trying to do. And in doing that, he's trying to hit you with the right hand lead so he can get the hook downstairs. That's it. Do me a favor. Keep working the jab, put a little more speed behind it, and keep throwing those right hands to the body. Fix?
Like you got us off.
You let him get off every time. You threw the right hand once, it was perfect. You're starting into the same mode again. You're falling around, you're falling around. He's doing the same thing, boxing. Bang, 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 jab, throw the right hand. Be quick, Mick. Quick, Mick. That right hand you stopped me with, that will stop him. He hurt him just then. You can't throw once. You got to be more active, Mick. Come on, be active. It's the last fight of your career, Mick. Fight hard, baby. Hands up.
Ward's trainer is his older half-brother, Dick Eklund, himself a former fighter. He's been Micky's trainer for the last several years, ever since his release from prison after a stint on drug charges. Part of the subtext of Micky Ward's career is that he gave his older brother something to live for, something to use as a beacon to help him beat the demons of drugs and alcohol.
And evidently, Eklund was also one of his sparring partners, because he referred to the fact that he should throw the right hand that he's been hit him with in training at Guy Ward.
Yeah, they spar together a lot.
Get it.
Crowd begins to chant, Gatti, Gatti, Gatti.
If Gatti continues to beat Ward to the punch, Ward will revert to his more natural style.
Yes.
Left hook upstairs for Ward. Gatti showing the movement and speed which carried him to victory in the second fight here. Gatti squares up with his back against the ropes. And Earl Morton comes in to move them apart. When Arturo squares his shoulders up, whether on the ropes or whether he's moved Ward back into the ropes, that's when Micky has his best chance to land that left hook to the body.
Because at a certain distance, Micky's legs is just a little bit kind of spread kind of wide, where it's hard for him to reach. He's always short of punches oftentimes until he gets him right into the ropes. Arturo is much more fluid with his footwork and his punches, so he can get in and out a lot faster. And this is where Ward should try to keep the fight.
Good left hook to the body by Gatti. Third punch in the combination. Arturo very energetic here in round two. Gatti threw 67 punches in round one. That's just about the right number for him.
And Ward has had very little head movement. He's just eating up jabs as he's coming in, whereas Gatti's got a lot more upper body movement.
Ward committing a little bit too much, perhaps in frustration. And Gatti, solid 1-2. Then ducking and slipping and wrapping Ward up. And a left hook to the body. And Arturo Gatti may have twisted an ankle. Limped away momentarily after taking that left hook to the body.
I don't know if that was that or whether he might have claimed that it was a low blow.
No, he did. Oh.
Yeah, he definitely thought it was a low blow.
Well, Ward has a bloody nose now, and his face is getting red all over. When these two guys box, it's like watching Rottweilers at a dog show.
On the Record with Bob Costas premieres every Friday night at 11:30. This week, Bob trades late night secrets with Tonight Show host Jay Leno as Jay shares his thoughts on his so-called rival David Letterman and his Tonight Show predecessor, the legendary Johnny Carson. Hey, David, I don't write the copy, I just read it. On the Record, entertainment, sports, and everything in between.
When you're moving the head inside, look for the body. Okay, don't worry about the head yet. We get the head later. Okay? Very good, baby. Very good. Very good, Arturo. Double up on the jab a little more, but give me some more right hands.
Here's the shot that Gatti complained about. And you see why. Arturo Gatti has thrown 94 jabs in the first two rounds. That's pretty surprising. Micky Ward has thrown 60. That's very surprising. 30 jabs per round for Ward. And you wonder when he'll dispense with the boxing strategy.
Well, if the fight continues to go as it is, Gatti's sliding to a decision, particularly in view of the fact that it's only a 10-round fight. Ward is going to have to start punching more.
Ward landed a little counter right hand, but it's mostly Gatti. Hard right hand to the body by Gatti. Ward with a little pop upstairs.
And every time that Gatti throws a punch, Ward should come back right away instead of waiting until he finishes a series of punches. He should come right back immediately.
Like that. Yeah. Oh, big 1-2 by Arturo, but a little extra power behind the right hand. Ward hits him with a right hand flush. One byproduct of Gatti's increasingly superior conditioning, the fact that Arturo takes much better care of himself between fights now than was the case earlier in his career. As a result of that, Manny, he doesn't cut as much as he used to.
No, he's trying. I think it's changed his whole life. He looks like a new young fighter, like someone who's about 20 years old. You would not believe that he's been in those great wars that he's been in.
He says he's learned a lesson about how his party habits and his nightlife between fights and help to result in cutting and facial damage.
And Micky Ward doesn't look too good at this point in time in the fight.
Arturo's beating him up.
No, he's beating him in every way. Power punches, boxing, ring generalship. Seems to have more spirit.
Micky almost spun himself into the canvas. Gatti through the first 3 rounds. Remember, Ward can change a fight with his left hook to the body if he gets a chance to land it.
But he's got to throw it.
It's not unusual for Micky Ward to lose the early rounds, but he's not getting to Gatti enough, particularly to the body, to slow him down for the later rounds.
And right now he appears further away from being truly in the fight than at any time in the first 2 fights.
And his merely defense is just merely to hold his hands up over his head and anticipate where a punch is coming from, instead of slipping his head, moving it, and punching more.
You might draw the conclusion from these first 3 rounds that Arturo Gatti has learned everything he needs to know about Micky Ward.
And he's fighting a brilliant fight.
Very beautiful. Might get his back. Okay, listen. Let's go back downstairs again. Let's go back downstairs to the body. Okay, now listen, go for the feints. He's going for the feints to the body. So keep feinting him downstairs, jab, jab, feint him, jab, then drop one downstairs. But like I told you, he's going to counter with that hook if he could, okay? Now when you slip the hook and he throws the right hand, don't pull out. Just stay low, let it go up, just go up under them. Very good, beautiful. Okay, but you're boxing beautiful, baby. You're boxing beautiful, it's your show.
Up there, go on, man.
Yeah. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
Got it? Yeah, Mac.
Okay, let's go.
If Micky Ward wants to get back into this fight, he's going to have to return to his shock and awe style of fighting.
Yes.
Target practice in round 3. Gatti landing 23 out of 34 power shots. That is a withering 68%. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
You know, Jim, the only question about round 3 was, should you have scored a 10-8? I scored a 10-9, 3-0, 30-27, Arturo Thunder Gatti. Jim, I got to tell you, this ring is huge, and Arturo Gatti's using every single inch of it. He moves beautifully, gets off double, triple shots, gets the hell out of there before Micky Ward can counter. Nice job by Earl Morton. This is a terrific referee.
Yep, but Arturo Gatti took a shot and is now in trouble and getting pummeled by Micky Ward.
It was a body punch. A body punch started this.
One punch changed the fight. It was a Micky Ward left hook to the body. We told you he could do it. And we're wondering if Arturo may have hurt his right hand again. He grimaced in pain and hasn't thrown the right hand since. Left, 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 left.
The way he's working the left hand, he won't have to throw a right hand.
Left, left, left. Still no right hands. Appears almost certain at this point that Arturo Gatti feels as though he's broken his right hand. And Micky Ward has taken advantage to pound it. There's a right hand by Gatti, and he grimaces in pain. No question, Arturo Gatti has hurt his right hand. That's going to change the fight.
And this is the wrong fight to have anything hurt.
Ward's back in it now. Back in it in a big way. Five straight left hooks by Micky Ward. Gatti coming back, using the left hand.
Yeah, the right hand is definitely hurt. They may have to end up stopping the fight. This would make boxing so different from all other sports. In any other sport, you could call timeout, substitute another athlete. You can't do it in boxing. The whole team is Gatti.
Arturo wants to throw his right hand and just can't. Micky Ward landed a haymaker shot. Gatti showing great courage as he tries to get Ward off of him with one hand. Five straight left hooks. 7 left hooks. He mixed in one right hand. Here comes Ward. Crowd on its feet.
This is what they came for.
High drama in Atlantic City.
What you want me to do?
My right hand.
What you want me to do?
I'm going to keep going.
Okay, listen. This is what you got to do. Use that jab. Keep that jab working. Don't stay inside and take no body shot. Okay? Now listen. Work the jab to his chest. Bring the hook to the body. Okay? But don't stay inside. All righty? Okay, come on, baby. Come on, champion.
You heard Gatti say, my hand, my hand. He hit the hip bone, it appeared, of Micky Ward.
Broke it right on the point of Ward's hip.
You know, when something like that happens, it possibly could have been an injury already that just was.
And you see him wince after he throws that right hand.
And don't forget, he was hitting around. Yeah, he was hitting a soft area too.
Well, you heard Buddy McGirt say, what do you want me to do? Implicit in that was, do you want me to stop the fight? Arturo said, I'm going to keep going. And then McGirt gave him specific instructions on how to try to fight with one hand.
Well, you can't really dwell on the issue with the fighter if that's the case. You just ignore it the best you can, as long as he can box. But Arturo Gatti has a lot of boxing talent, and he possibly still could win this fight by just moving and boxing, but not staying in one spot.
Okay, walk it out. Let's go, let's go.
And the injuries where he hurt his hand in the incidents, it was always with punches on the cup, which is soft, and always into the body, which means the hand could have been hurt before coming into the fight.
How about the courage it takes for Arturo to be throwing right hands at this point?
Unbelievable.
I mean, how do you even let it go? You heard McGirt saying, I want left hooks to the body, then bring him back upstairs. Gatti jabbing, pawing with the right hand, trying to make it at least a strategic factor, if not a meaningful one.
Emmanuel, do you think that that Ward knows about the right hand yet?
I'm very interested. It's a good interesting question. I don't know. I really don't know. And even when you have an injury, a hand get broken, in the heat of the battle with the blood flowing and everything, you still can throw it sometimes. It gets numb, and really the next day after the fight.
There's a cut on the left eye now of Ward.
Amazingly, that cut produced probably by a right hand punch from Gatti with his broken hands. Arturo beginning to use the right more and more.
Yes, he's using the right hand a lot more now.
Might be going numb on it.
You know what he's doing? He's pulling the punch. He's throwing it, but not with the abandon of the left.
No, he's not really turning all of the power through all the way.
He's scoring points with it, but he's not letting it go.
Incidentally, Ward has Al Gavin, one of the greatest to cut men in his corner. He was cut in the second round of the first fight, and Gavin easily kept him in the fray all the way. In the opposite corner, should Gatti cut, Joe Souza is right up there on the same level with Gavin. Low blow warning now for Ward. No point deduction.
In a recent fight we had between Spadafora and Durin, both fighters bled from both eyes, something I had never seen before.
Micky Ward lands a solid straight right. Gatti with a huge left hook. Ward with a left hook. They're trading power shots.
Yep. What happened to the boxing?
How you feeling?
Gotta be busy. He's fighting with one hand.
The one-handed fighter beat you.
It's high.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not.
It's above the eye.
It shouldn't trickle down in.
No.
All right, we'll let it go.
Sideways. He's trying to drop that hook on you. All right, baby? Better round.
All right, that's it.
Okay? You got the legs. Let's use them. Okay? You said after 6 you wanted to pick it up. We got a couple left. Nice and smart. Okay? Let's go, baby. Stay to that body with that left hand.
Brilliant round for Arturo Gatti in the fifth. 45 out of 89. 51% of his punches landed. Ward 10 out of 61. You heard Dickie Eklund say to Micky Ward, you're fighting a one-handed fighter. Don't let a one-handed fighter beat you.
Watch his neck. Watch his neck. What are we going to do? Break! Walk it out, walk it out, walk it out, walk it out.
Trading body shots at close range. Gatti goes back to his movement and begins throwing his jab again. The jab can be the key weapon in the fight if Arturo can continue to use it.
Listen, Oscar De La Hoya won most of his fights during an estimable career with one hand, basically.
Yeah, particularly early in his career, even though he still does it a lot.
Ward with a right hand over the top.
But Gatti has the ability to win this fight strictly with his left hand and occasional right hand once in a while because of his great boxing talent. And Ward comes in and doesn't punch often enough.
Bring it up, guys. Come on.
Al Gavin got the bleeding to stop on the cut above Micky Ward's left eye, and you heard Gavin telling the doctor, Dominic Coletta, it's not going to be a problem. One reason you have a great cut man like Gavin is so that the doctor will listen to him when he says the fighter can stay in the fight.
3 straight body punches with his right hand by Gatti. Not big punches, but just to remind Ward that even a one-handed puncher sometimes can shoot bullets with an empty gun.
You know, he's very seldom throwing a right hand to the head, which would be a harder target.
And now Ward momentarily switches to a southpaw stance. We asked Gatti yesterday, what do you think Micky could do to surprise you? He said, well, he could come out and fight in a southpaw stance, but I'm ready for that too. Gatti's foot movement stops. Ward gets a chance to maul him a little bit. Blood begins to flow from Micky's left eye again. Gatti with a brave right hand onto Ward's chin. Not a hard one. Left hook up here, left hook down there. Gatti using the strategy that Buddy McGirt articulated.
He landed the right hand to the head and hurt his right hand again.
wide swinging right hand.
I think it was mostly from balance.
The bell sounded and round 6 has come to a close. Micky Ward, who was falling behind on points, now has a leg up to get back into the fight.
Hands, baby. I'm telling you, he's trying to come over top with that right hand, Arturo. You got to move to your right a little more because you're dropping that left hand. Keep the left hand out in front of you.
Arturo, how you feeling? You're fine?
You put the pressure on.
You go out there and put the pressure on. You got to bang. It's all your hot and soul.
Just as Gatti was about to take a 5 rounds to 1 lead near the bell, that knockdown can even the fight on points.
Caught him on the top of the head.
Just as he was pulling out.
Confidence builder for Ward. Ward can't get the mouthpiece into his mouth. Earl Morton caused time to give Dickie Eklund a chance to come in and retrieve the mouthpiece for Micky. Micky punches his brother in the belly as he leaves the ring.
So far in this series, the fighter who has knocked the other one down has won each fight.
They're standing and trading shots at the center of the ring. This is very good for Ward. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Dan, this is close again. 57-56, 4 rounds to 2. Arturo Thunder Gatti. Jim, I got to tell you, the extra point in round 6 just made this fight winnable for Micky Ward. And God darn it, you got to give him an extra point because it was a clean knockdown.
And he hurt Gatti with the right hand. Hurt him badly. And here comes Arturo trying to fight his way off the ropes.
It's turning out to be Ward's right hand against Gatti's left hand. There it is again.
Well, because Gatti has to use the left hand as his only offense, Ward gets more and more chances to counter over it with the right. And he's taking advantage. So Arturo has to keep throwing. And now Arturo's left eye has opened up and begun to bleed. Both fighters bleeding from the left eye.
The Atlantic Ocean outside these doors is turning into the Red Sea.
Look at Arturo firing that broken right hand. Ward waits for him to finish and then stages his own assault. Micky Ward stunned by a left hook.
Left hook.
Can Gatti follow up?
I never thought I would see anything as exciting as the first fight. This is equaling it and maybe more so for power punchers.
His 7th round.
Yeah, especially when you consider the drama that one guy fighting with his hand broke.
Reminiscent of the 9th round in the first fight.
There has been nothing like this series in boxing since Bowen Holyfield a decade ago.
This is better. This is better. And no championships involved. And you get more action in the 10 rounds than we normally get in a 15-round fight.
Ward almost seems like he's ready to go.
The most overused word in sports commentary is incredible. This is another incredible fight. As the crowd stands en masse to applaud, Emmanuel Stewart stands and applauds with them.
This is where your 10 mouths come in. Arturo. Hand me that bucket. Drink this.
Look at me. Here. Put it in here. Here.
Help me.
Deep breaths, man. Deep breath. Yep. One more drink.
Beautiful round, baby. We got 9 minutes, Arturo.
Early in the round, it was the left hook by Ward that seemed to hurt Gatti badly. But if you've been watching Arturo Gatti, you know that just wakes him up.
In a round in which he seemed momentarily in danger of being knocked out, Arturo Gatti landed 61 of 101 power shots, 60%. That's why Buddy McGirt said, beautiful round. Right hand lands flush again. Ward trying to get in just one left hook to the body. Almost got it there.
Seemingly, Gatti has really rehearsed a lot for taking away that left hook to the body from Ward. That's the one punch that he hasn't really been hit too effective with the entire fight. In the meantime, he's getting hit with those short clubbing right hands as Ward gets close to him, which he earlier couldn't hit him with because he was too far away, but he's getting close to him now where he's hitting him with those short right hands.
You can almost see Arturo clench his teeth and screw up his courage when he has to throw the right hand, but he goes ahead and does it anyway.
Emmanuel, what can Ward do knowing that the right hand can't really hurt him anymore from Gatti? What tactically, strategically can he do?
Try to get him into exchange where you'd have to have both hands punching, where you wouldn't have to, he can't just throw one punch and get away. Make him get in a toe-to-toe exchange where you have to have both hands going. He would have a big advantage.
In the 7th round, with his right hand obviously damaged, Arturo Gatti threw more punches in the round than he's ever thrown at any previous time in his career. Again, I absolutely hate to use the word abhorrent, but this is incredible.
It's as if they're not even human.
No, it's because they're human that makes this such a compelling drama.
All right, walk it out. Walk it out.
It definitely isn't normal. Even other fighters are moved by the great toughness and resilience of these two fighters. Qualities that are every bit as rare as great boxing ability.
Gatti's throwing a lot of right hands now. I think his right hand's probably just got numb to the point where he doesn't even feel the pain anymore.
And probably he damages it every time he lands it.
Well, he just landed again and hurt it. It's just hurting bad. And the pain is probably going through his entire arm.
I stop punching. Come on. Let his head out. Come on, guys.
8 rounds in the books, only 6 minutes to go.
Better round.
In the Gatti Ward trilogy.
2 rounds left, Arturo. Listen to me. Keep that jab in his face. Okay? You keep that jab in his face, baby. Okay? 6 more minutes. Upper body movements. Okay, listen.
Okay, you win that man.
Get it. Okay, when you get inside, let's use these. Get out of there. That's what he wants. We're not doing that no more. Okay, we fighting our style now. Okay? We got 6 minutes, baby.
Ninth round, baby. Make hands and close. Come on, Charles.
Micky Ward looks like he's coming down the home stretch of a long, hard race, both in this fight and in his career.
He's going to have to throw a lot of punches. Gatti's out hustling, even with the hurt hand, he's still out hustling.
Yep, Micky Ward only threw 44 punches in the 8th round, landing 13. Arturo Gatti, 24 out of 62. Arturo, the more confident fighter, even with the damaged right hand, as we come to these last 2 rounds. We were told before the fight that Ward's camp was worried that referee Earl Morton might have too much of a tendency to get involved in the fight, but Morton has done a whale of a job staying out of the action and just letting him fight.
He's did a great job tonight.
Ward just a tiny bit short of big damage on that right hand. Every time they get close, Arturo bends to his right side and plants his elbow against his rib cage to be certain that Ward won't get in that left hook.
They're both becoming protecting their bodies from left hooks. That's been the least effective punch tonight, which is interesting.
A major basic staple for both fighters.
Yeah, the left hook to the head by Gatti has been very effective in hitting Ward, and Ward has been more effective by getting close and dropping a short clubbing right hand over the side of the head on Gatti.
Taking advantage of Gatti's constant use of the left. Gatti pushing a right hand into Ward's face. Uppercut lands.
He's using every variety of left hand punches he can dream of, in addition to occasional right hand.
Ward firing right hand after right hand, trying to take advantage. Gatti with a hard right to the body. Great stuff from Gatti.
Yeah.
Loosening up with the right hand, throwing it more and more, and able to set up a good left hook there with a right uppercut.
He seems to be spiritually and mentally very much as compared to Micky.
Another easy round for Arturo Gatti, who used his boxing skills to fend off Micky Ward.
Use your legs, but let your hands go. Okay? Box him, but use it, move your hands. Okay? We got to close the show big, but no slugfest. Okay. You understand?
Keep your head down, mate. Keep your head down a second.
In his 51st fight, Micky Ward is going into what he says will be the last round of his career.
Last time in the career, man.
They got me, baby. Last round, baby, okay? 3 minutes. Okay, you worked hard for this, Arturo. Let's go. But use your legs. Let your hands go. Use your legs. You put it all together this round.
Statistically, Gatti has dominated the fight, but Ward is the one with a knockdown in his pocket. He knocked Gatti down in the 6th.
And the final round.
This is the 30th round.
And it's going to be a good round, too.
Of a majestic trilogy. Harold, how do you have it come to the 10th?
Okay, Jim. 7 rounds to 2. 87, 83. Arturo Thunder Gatti. Jim, I got to tell you, he hits him and he moves. He's got a lot of room to move in his big ring. He doubles and triples that left jab. Just keeps moving, stays on his toes. Micky Ward, the older fighter, can't catch him. Arturo Gatti dominating with his effective aggressiveness and his clean punching.
And the corner of Gatti told him to just box, but the Warrior has taken over, and he's going to fight this round.
It'll be frustrating for Ward if he can't land just one more left hook to the body. One more signature for the long career. But it's a mark of how Arturo Gatti has rebuilt his career and rebuilt himself as a fighter. That after the adversity he faced in this fight, with a damaged right hand and down in the 6th, he has come back to dominate.
Come on, walk it out, walk it out.
A resourceful performance for Gatti, who may finally be in position to try to fight for a title one more time.
Great left hook by Ward right there. Great left hook to the head.
To start one last rally.
Oh.
And a hard right hand by Ward. Micky Ward's going to unload the kitchen. find out everything he's got left.
Gaddy is about to go down if he got hit with his bit of rope, so then all of a sudden he came alive again.
That may have been the last hurrah of Ward.
Yeah.
When they announced the fight here on the boardwalk, it sold out faster than would any title fight in the sport. The only title they fight for is the memory of their great 3 fights against each other. This is called getting your money's worth. And they rise again in Boardwalk Hall. They're done. What Micky Ward and Arturo Gatti share together, only they know. Only they can touch it. Only they can feel it.
Fabrizio, I love you. I know you're watching home. There you go, kid.
Brief highlights now from another dramatic fight. The third installment of this trilogy, no less glorious, no less memorable than its 2 already historic predecessors. In the 10th round, Arturo Gatti landed 55 of 121 punches, closing the show as Micky Ward got off 86 of his own shots. Back in round 4, Arturo Gatti hurt his right hand, apparently breaking it against Micky Ward's left hip. A turning point in the fight, which gave Ward life.
What you want me to do?
My right hand.
What you want me to do?
I gotta keep going.
Okay, listen. This is what you gotta do. Use that jab. Keep that jab working.
He did keep going and began an effort to try to win the fight with his left hand. In round 6, Micky Ward knocked Arturo Gatti down with a right hand. But in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, Gatti effectively executed his plan to use the left hand to keep Ward at bay and courageously mixed in right hand after right hand to ultimately pile up statistical dominance over Ward. Another great performance by both fighters. And now let's go to Michael Buffer, who has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 30 grueling rounds, a round of applause for 2 warriors who gave it everything they had in this ring. We now go to the scorecards for the final chapter of the Gatti Ward trilogy. Joseph Pasquale scores it 96-93. George Hill, 96-93. Luis Rivera, 97-92. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Arturo Gatti. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Irish Micky Ward and Arturo Thunder Gatti.
CompuBox numbers will show you how Gatti won the fight, landing 221 more punches throwing 206 more punches despite the obviously damaged, probably broken right hand, and doubling on Ward's connect percentage. After breaking his right hand, Gatti depended partially on the jab down the stretch, landing 98 out of 384. Ward could only land 21 of the jabs that he attempted to throw, having promised to throw many more than in the second fight. And now Larry Merchant stands by in the ring to further commemorate this great trilogy with both fighters.
Thank you very much, Jim. Arturo, Mickey, thank you very much. Did either of you suspect that this fight would be as intense as the first fight between you?
Larry, like I said before the fight meeting, I know what type of man Micky Ward is, and I knew he was coming in tonight to fight his best fight of his life. And if it would have been anybody else, they would have quit. And Micky Ward hurt me in the third, fourth round. I hurt my hand in the third round, but Micky Ward is unbelievable. He's got a heart. And for someone that wants to retire, he fought a hell of a fight.
Well, that's an interesting comment, Mickey. A lot of guys who retire, they don't want to go through this one last time.
Right.
What was your feeling about that coming in here?
I didn't want to, but he caught me some good shots early that stunned me, and I was doing my equilibrium was on my final. He just fought a great fight. He hurt me early, not really bad, but enough to get me a little dizzy, and just couldn't get on track after that. He fought a great fight. He fought his fight, and take my hat off to him. No excuses. I was in great condition. I just things happen in the ring. You always got a game plan, but sometimes it doesn't. You got to go to something else because it doesn't work, and that's what happened.
All right, the third round, you hurt your hand, apparently, or the fourth round on his hip.
Yes.
Was that it?
Yes, it was the uppercut on his hip.
How did you know instantly this is broken?
Yes. You know, the last fight when I hurt my hand in the third round, it was numb. Right there, when I hit him with the uppercut and I hit his hip, I knew right there that I hurt my hand, and that just threw me off my fight. And the fight totally changed after that.
All right, now, Buddy McGirt says to you in the corner afterwards, in effect, do you want to continue? Can you continue? What were you thinking?
No, I just want to let him know that I hurt my hand. Of course I want to continue. You know, it takes more than that. It takes more than that to stop me in a fight. You know, I came here to win tonight, and I wanted my coach, Buddy, to know that I was hurt, to come up with a good game plan for me to win this fight.
All right, how soon did you know that you were fighting, in effect, a 1 or 1.5
I knew
punch?
He hit me. I could see it in his face. I could tell he wasn't throwing with the power that he caught me with earlier. I knew it, but like he said, he has balls that you won't believe. He got hot, like, man. I told you, he's like Jason. He doesn't stop. He can't stop him. He just keeps coming up. That's his nickname, Jason, not Thunder.
All right, did at one point you started to throw it again? Did it become numb and you just didn't even feel it?
No, it was hurting, but I told myself, if I don't throw it, Micky knew about it. He has a smart corner, and they told him that his hand is hurt. So I had to do something, and it started working again, but it was hurting.
All right, now you're falling behind in the fight, and at the end of the 6th round, a knockdown. Let's see if we can take a look at it. And you describe what happened, because it even seemed a little bit you were very tired, and somehow you pulled yourself back into the fight with that knockdown.
He caught me earlier in the fight with a good right hand, and that discombobbled me some. I just couldn't get my legs under me like I wanted to, and I knew he'd come back from it. That's what he's about. He comes back, and all the time I heard him, it's at the end of the round, never at the beginning.
All right, now he hit you on top of the head. Was that an off-balance shot, or did he really stun you?
No, he stunned me. I went down because I was stunned. I looked over to my corner and said, don't worry, I'm going to get up.
Okay, now you started to box him for the next few rounds. You started to use your left hand, and he didn't have the answers. Yeah. But at the end of the ninth, or going into the 9th round, you put your arm around his neck. What did you say to him?
I forget, but probably, Jesus, when are you gonna stay down? I don't know. I put my hand around. I just said, hey, this guy's great. You know what I mean? It's mutual respect. It's I mean, I want to beat him more than anything in the world. But outside, he's a human. He's a beautiful guy. That's what it's about. It's about respect. It's not about who's tougher. We're both tough guys. It's about respect, and that's what everyone, the kids in the world, should have, is respect for each other.
It looked as though in the last couple of rounds, Arturo, that he had nothing left. that he was just really fading, and yet he fought you back. Did you feel you could knock him out at that point?
No, not at all. You know, Micky's, you know, he's a sharp fighter and he's a veteran. You know, he wanted to lure me into something with a body shot. That's how I felt. So I started moving on my legs because he's a veteran and he wanted to lure me into something. So I knew about that. So I started moving around.
That was a good body shot earlier in the fight that slowed me down a lot. And I'll tell you the truth. You know, I tried to cover him like it didn't hurt, but I did my sit-ups and he caught me some good body shots. That slowed me down.
So we can assume that your promise to retire is going to be fulfilled.
Yeah, it's kind of just something else to do, but I gave it my all. I always gave my all 100%. And tell any kid, anyone who wants to get in it, don't get in unless you're serious, because it's a serious sport. And I want him to. I'll be there for him, and I'll just step it away if he needs anything.
Is this series going to be something that is going to be with you and identify you for the rest of your life?
Yeah, probably. Most definitely. I'll stay president for life. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
Thank you very much, Micky.
Thanks to HBO for having me. I have all the viewers. Thank you so much.
All right, Arturo, you've come through another one of these battles. Are you going to look for an easier fight next time? Is there one out there that you can take?
No, not at all. I'm going to let my manager, my promoter, to decide for me. Right now, I'm going to take care of my hand, see what's wrong with it, and I'll be back in December, hopefully.
Thank you again for a great fight, both of you.
Thank you very much.